So you make a few New Year's resolutions at the start of the new year and you stay pretty consistent with them for the first few weeks, but then you run out of steam and kind of lose majority of your motivation. Hey guys, what's up and welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be about how to maintain the motivation to achieve your goals. If you're new to my channel, I like to talk about productivity and goal setting, so if you're interested in becoming your best self, then consider subscribing because I post new videos every week. The first thing that you want to do to maintain your motivation is to just start whatever habit you want to keep implementing in your life. Believe it or not, motivation comes after you start a new behavior, not before. I think we've all heard Newton's first law of motion. Objects in motion tend to stay in motion, but nobody ever really talks about the second part, which is an object at rest tends to stay at rest. So for example, let's say you want to be consistent with studying. When you're actively studying, you're actually creating more motivation by actually studying than you are just sitting and watching a video about studying. And this kind of leads me into my next step, which is to schedule your motivation. If you want to maintain your motivation, you got to make it as easy as possible to do it. If you don't have a scheduled time to start studying, you're going to wake up thinking, oh, I wish I had the motivation to study today. This just makes it so much harder because you're like trying to decide what to do for the day. Like, take the decision making out of it and just schedule it in there. Like, oh, like this is what I have planned today. Let me sit here. In a scientific study done in Great Britain in 2001, people were split up into 3 groups and they were measured for how many times they exercised in a week. The first group was a control group and they were just asked to track how often they worked out. The second group was also asked to track their workouts, but they also read material on the benefits of working out and they were also explained how exercise could improve their health. The third group received the same presentation as the second group, so that they had the same baseline of motivation, but they were also asked to formulate a plan for when they would exercise. Within the first and second groups, 35 to 38% exercised once per week. However, within the third group, 91% exercised at least once per week. Scheduling is so simple, but it gives your habits a time and place to live so that you can actually do them. My third tip to maintaining motivation is a little thing called the Goldilocks Rule. Imagine you're playing tennis with a 5-year-old. It's probably going to be super easy, you'll get bored, and you'll not want to do it because it's way too easy. And then imagine that you're playing tennis with Serena Williams. It's probably gonna be really hard, like extremely difficult, like it's impossible to beat her, and you're probably not gonna want to do that either because it's just way too hard. And then imagine that you're playing tennis with someone who's at the same skill level as you on tennis. The victory isn't guaranteed, but it's definitely possible. And that makes it interesting and fun, and it makes you more inclined to play tennis. This is the Goldilocks Rule, and it's a scientific phenomenon where humans experience peak motivation when they're working on tasks that are right at the edge of their skill level. You can apply this to anything when you just aren't feeling motivated to do it. Perhaps it drifted into an area of boredom where like it's like way too easy to do that task, so you don't even want to do it, so boring. Or it's gotten super hard, like you have this like huge essay that you have to write and it's just so overwhelming that you don't want to do that either because it's just way too hard. If this is the case, bring it back to where you feel challenged but still capable of doing it. Finally, what I want to talk about is a state of motivation called flow state. You've probably heard about this. It's what athletes and performers experience when they're in the zone, and it's that feeling that you get when you're so focused on something that everything else just kind of fades away. The Goldilocks Rule plays into this flow state because when you're working on something that's challenging but doable, you'll not only be motivated to do it, but you'll also feel happier that you're working towards completing something. To maintain your motivation, you have to measure your progress and get immediate feedback each step of the way. Sometimes maintaining motivation isn't about getting the results. Sometimes it's about being aware of the progress that you're making. And if you apply this, the progress that you make and that you can see that you're making is gonna help keep your motivation high enough to keep doing whatever that is. If you made it to the end of this video, then congratulations, you get a gold star. If you like this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, comment anything you want to comment down below, and subscribe because I post new videos every week. Click that notification bell while you're at it so that you can be the first to receive your next gold star. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.